Am I coming to Calgary, Alberta? Yes, I am. All right, so let's talk about how does a bird dog get paid? Where does the money come from? How does the money flow? Let's talk about the flow of the transaction. And you guys can see exactly how that works. So I'm going to put the side chat on pause. Okay. Yep. Thank you, Michelle. The problem is when you answer, guys, let me tell you how this works. Okay. Noah Williams says, how do you determine your bird dog fee? We'll talk about how do you determine your bird dog fee, at least with me as the buyer. We will show you how you get paid. But if I answered the question to a brand new person, okay, Michelle says the buyer pays, but escrow title company sends it. Okay, cool. Let me ask everybody a question. Michelle, thank you for saying that. Here is the answer. Does that help everybody if I say, well, yeah, the buyer pays it and the escrow company wires the money to the bird dog? Does that give you the visual that you're looking for when you're a newbie? Or do you need to see stick figures and money flowing and you need to see it like really, really basic? Okay. This is exactly why people come to learn from me, is because I understand. I've taught thousands of times and I see at the end of my teaching, people go, that didn't give me what I needed. I try it again. I try it again. I try it again. Words don't help. Okay. Visuals do. All right. There you go. Tiffany Jones says, give me the deeds, pays. Perfect. Thank you. All right. So let's go into the whiteboard and let's break it down. Let's talk about a regular real estate transaction and who are the parties involved. Where does the money flow? How does the bird dog get paid? All right. So number one, let's talk about every single real estate transaction that you've ever heard about is a real estate transaction that starts off with a seller that is selling a house. So we've got the seller involved. The seller decides, you know what, I want to sell because I'm moving across the country. I want to list my property for $200,000. Real estate agent comes in and says, hey, I can take this house and we can go put this on the market, right? The MLS, the place where people can see that we're selling the house, right? Zillow, MLS, whatever. I teach my students in SubTo that you should not be bothering this real estate agent until that real estate agent has probably had this house on the market for about 100+ days. So this person, one of my students, is learning wholesaling from me, right? So I teach my students how to wholesale, and among a lot of other things. They reach out to that agent because that agent is going through some pain. Their house has been on the market for 100 days. And the wholesaler says, hey, $200,000 is obviously not selling that house. How would you like to sell that property to me for $125,000 and I can dispo or sell it or flip it right now? Agent says no, agent says no, agent says no. The wholesaler keeps following up. And after about 3 months, finally, the seller and the real estate agent decide $125,000 is probably the price we need to sell it for. So are we just calling regular real estate agents and calling regular sellers? Or are we waiting for pain points to pop up? Of course, we're waiting for pain points. Okay. So this wholesaler and this real estate agent strike an agreement. This agreement is called the purchase and sale agreement. Carly, can you please put in the side chat the contract that people will need in order to get this real estate agent under contract? Thank you. Carly just gave you guys all the contracts. It's about $5,000 worth of JV wholesale assignment contracts that you will need in order to do this at some point if you are a wholesaler. So this wholesaler strikes a new contract. Okay, and that new contract is for $125,000 because they couldn't sell it for $200,000. All right. Now, we already agreed that the wholesaler had to follow up, negotiate, follow up, negotiate, market, advertise, meet the agent, call, just to get one contract, right? Do we all agree in the side chat that this is a full-time job, just getting one contract directly from real estate agents or with sellers? Can we all agree that this is a full-time job? The reason why I hammer home on that is because so many people, especially when you're new, will say, why doesn't the wholesaler just sell the deal directly to the buyer? Well, because they're so busy doing what I just laid out for you. So you need to understand how busy they are. Okay. So it is a full-time job. All right, awesome. So this is where the buyer comes into play. The buyer comes into play and says, hey, you know what? I'm a fix and flipper. Let's just call this person Flip. This person is looking for deals. They are looking to flip houses. And so in a regular transaction, the wholesaler would say, hey, Flip, I have a contract and I'll sell that contract to you for $150,000. The wholesaler obviously is going to make 25 grand. Now, where does the money flow? How does the wholesaler make money? That actually doesn't answer the question entirely, so I will get to that in just a minute. This is a regular deal. Now, I own a title company. We are in 43 states. The name of our title company is getcreativetitle.com. Now, one thing I've learned is over the years, most real estate transactions with wholesalers involved and fix and flippers involved actually are not this simple. Okay. About 80% of all transactions that we see now, 80% of all transactions that we see nationwide, I'm going to say it again, 80% of all transactions that we see have a bird dog in the middle. The bird dog is keeping up to tabs with what wholesalers are doing. Hey, do you have any deals for me to look at? Hey, do you have any deals for me to look at? Hey, do you have any deals for me to look at? And the bird dog is also asking the flipper, hey, when are you ready for another deal? 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 They are the liaison between the wholesaler and the fix and flipper or the buyer. Okay, they're the liaison. Now, in the very beginning, I want to focus on one buyer, one flip, so flip can give you feedback. We talked about this yesterday, okay? So how do these people get paid? In this transaction, let's go through it one more time. In this transaction, the seller is selling their house. Real estate agent is representing that house, right? The agent. They decided they're going to sell it for $125,000 to Mr. Wholesaler right here. They enter into a contract. This contract is a PSA, purchase and sales agreement. You have been given that set of documents in the side chat over here on Zoom. $5,000 value, all for free. This PSA is called the A2B contract. Why? Because this is party A right here, and this is party B right here. It is called the A2B contract. I know I have not given you the full answer, but I'm giving you a lot of context. I'm going to continue going, but can I get a yes that we understand so far how these transactions work? Amazing. Got about 400 people to say yes, so I appreciate that. I know it's good for me to move forward and get to the next part of this story. Cool. So in the A2B contract, the wholesaler, who is very busy and is doing this full time, he's very, very, very busy. He needs to go out and find another deal. That's where this wholesaler needs to spend his time and money, is wholesaling, finding wholesale transactions, okay? So this wholesaler, while he does want to sell this contract, needs to find a buyer. And if he's spending his time finding a buyer, that means he's not spending his time finding a deal. Same thing with Flip. What is Flip doing on a daily basis? Flip is going to buy this house. He's going to add money, and he's going to add more money, and then he's going to add time to this house, and ultimately add value and sell it to a family who's going to move into the property. We understand how fix and flips work. And how does every transaction work now? Every deal starts with a seller over here, and every deal starts with a buyer, whoever's going to use and occupy that property. The people that are in between is where you make your money. Okay. All right. So we already know what Flip does. Does Flip have a lot of time to go out and find deals, or is he dealing with permits? Is he dealing with delays? Is he dealing with tile orders? Is he dealing with painters and contractors? Is he dealing with the city? Is he dealing with private money? Is he dealing with neighbors that are upset? Is Flip running a full-time job as a fix and flipper? Yes or no? For those of you guys that are fix and flippers, you will obviously say, heck yes, it is more than a full-time job. So can we agree why more than 80% of fix and flippers buy their deals through a bird dog? Okay. Christy Ward, she says more than a full-time job. She's done it, obviously. Okay. Dakota says, so is bird dogging wholesaling, but for only one end buyer? That is correct. You are only working with one end buyer. Now, what does bird dogging eliminate? Okay. What does bird dogging eliminate? Let's pull this up. Dakota Hazlet. By the way, we have a guest coming up here in probably about 30 minutes. So I will get through my session and we will continue moving forward. Dakota, great question. Would love to chat with you about this question. So I'm going to pull you up and see if I can get you to chat with me. Dakota, what's up? Dakota's looking for the way to unmute themselves. Dakota, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, well, Dakota, we missed out on you chatting. I'll keep you up here just in case you figure out how to unmute yourself. But the reason why we bird dog is it eliminates every excuse that a newbie has. I covered this on Monday. I covered this on Tuesday, and I'll cover it again right now. New people make up a lot of excuses, right? If I tell you you don't have money, so therefore you shouldn't have to do it. You don't need to have to do a deal because you don't have money. Well, I also have the solution. It's SubTo, it's seller finance, it's lease options, it's wraps, it's Morby methods, it's all sorts of creative strategies. Oh yeah, but it's my time. Okay, well, I give you time management. Then what do? Well, I don't have a proof of funds. Well, I don't have the ability to negotiate. Well, I don't have the ability to do this. Well, I don't have the ability to do that. How many people have made absolute excuses over the last several years of why you have not done a deal? Give me a me, or even type in the word guilty. Give me a little guilty in the side chat. Like, I'm guilty of that, okay? So when people go, oh, so it's just wholesaling. No. It is eliminate every single excuse you have in the book. You don't have to comp the property. You don't have to underwrite the property. You don't have to have proof of funds. You don't have to know if it's a good deal or not a good deal. You don't have to cold call, negotiate, follow up. You don't have to have a CRM. You don't have to spend any money. It is literally 10,000 more. Okay? 10,000 times more simple than wholesaling. You don't have to do anything that the wholesaler does. You are finding a deal for someone else. For those of you guys that showed up an hour late, by the way, we have a lot of you guys that showed up an hour late. We started at 5, it's now 6. And some of you guys have shown up just in the last 20 minutes. We're at nearly 1,000 people today. How many people watched when I asked Carly to find me an RV for my 100-day road trip tour? She is going to bird dog an RV for me so I don't have to go find one myself. She provides value to me so I can go do the things that will allow me to afford buying that RV. It does not matter what you are buying. A bird dog can bring it to you, okay? So she'll find it by the time the way this call is over. Maybe. She's pretty awesome. Ooh, this is interesting. Okay, Chris says, I have your RV Pace, a 2017 Tiffin, 10% 6-year balloon, 98,000, 2017, bro. I don't know. I'm kind of bougie. That's an 8-year-old thing, right? Like I got kids younger than that, you know? So I don't know if that's a thing. Bring it over to Carly Grunman. She is bird dogging for me. Maybe I'll take a look at that. Okay. Maybe I'll take a look at that. Get me a newer one. I'm bougie. I'm 42, man. I worked really hard to get to where I'm at. I don't want to be in a 2017 anything. Think about it. Me buying a 2017 RV means people have been farting in that thing since 2017. Okay. The RV might be perfectly fine, but I don't want to be hanging out in a capsule, a fart capsule. I don't want to be hanging out in somebody else's fart capsule. Okay, I'm sorry. So we understand that the flipper doesn't have time. Now, 80+% of fix and flippers buy their deals from bird dogs, not even from wholesalers. They buy them from bird dogs. How do you know that, Pace? Where's the statistic of labor and bureau that Trump fired? Is she working for you now? No, she's not working for me. I know this because I own a title company. We see all the transactions, okay? So Flip does not have time to go flip and buy houses, okay? Flip, all right, is trying to buy deals from people that will just bring them to him so he can just buy the house and focus on being a flipper, which allows us to be a bird dog. Now, some of you guys need to understand what a bird dog is a little bit more simply because you guys still don't understand it. Wait, you're telling me that The bird dog simply goes to a buyer first and says, hey, buyer, what are you looking for? Okay, this is what Carly did for me on the RV. Okay, this is Pace. He says, I want an RV with no farts in it, a fartless RV. That's basically what I told Carly. Carly's now going to go find where the deals are. She's going to bring it to me. She's going to make $20,000. I literally just laid out what bird dogging is to you, and you guys will still go, but. How many people still are overthinking it? Even though I just gave you the most simple example on the planet, you're still overthinking it. You're like, well, but. Or did that finally make sense for some people? Tommy Sprague says, if you can spend at least $150,000, I can get you an awesome tour bus. Tommy, you showed up an hour late, my friend. Okay. What contract should the bird dog use with the buyer? It's the JV agreement that we put in the side chat. Carly, put the JV agreement in the side chat. People just don't seem to want to download that JV agreement. Okay. Keppa Swanson. It's in the side chat, pacescontracts.com. Okay, cool. So here's how the bird dog gets paid. All right. Here's how the bird dog gets paid. Let's go through this. We know the parties involved. We know how simple this is. We know what the fix and flipper wants to do. The fix and flipper wants to buy a house and flip that property. Okay. So the flip is standing over here going, give me a house, man. Wholesaler's so busy being in the living room that he's not aware that this fix and flipper even exists. And this awesome bird dog comes in, and this would be you. Okay. If this bird dog is you, please say me in the side chat. Say me. Okay, cool. That is who I'm talking to. By the way, if a homeless lady can do this, can you? Can a homeless lady who's living on a cot with a broken phone, no money, no air conditioning, just completely laying there on a cot in a 50-woman shelter, if she can do it, can you? Okay. All right, awesome. So here's what the bird dog does. The bird dog goes to the buyer and says, what do you want? I want to know, what do you want, right? In this situation with Carly, I showed her, I want that RV, go find it for me. Carly then goes finds people that have similar type of things. So she says, hey, do you have any contracts on houses that my buyer would want? Here's the script. Hey, buyer, right? That's flip. Hey, buyer, my name is Carly. I'm brand new to real estate. I'd like to find you similar deals to the houses that you are already buying. I will show you guys again for the people that did not show up yesterday where we find these buyers. I'll do it for you guys here in a little bit. Hey, flip, my name is Carly. I'm looking for deals for people just like you. Can I bring you similar properties that are under contract from other investors, and would you be willing to pay me a finder's fee, almost like a bird dog fee? Flip says, yes, are you kidding me? That'd be great. I have 20 flips under contract right now. I'm so busy. I'd love for you to bring me stuff. That'd be amazing. Cool, pretty simple. Carly then says, cool, I have now checked the box. I feel confident in this situation because I have found my buyer. Okay, boom, I found my buyer. I am good. Then Carly goes over to the wholesaler and says, hey, wholesaler, I have a buyer. Here's the script for the wholesaler. Hey, wholesaler, my name is Carly. I'm brand new to real estate, but I have one quality buyer that will buy basically 10 deals this year. Do you mind if I take your properties and bring them over to my buyer and have my buyer pay me a fee? So there's the answer. My buyer is going to pay my fee, but where does that money come from? We'll explain that here in a minute. So the wholesaler says, of course, okay, this is what it looks like. I have a group chat with a gentleman named Ernest that sends me, I don't know, let's see if he even sent me anything. Oh, he did. Ernest sent me a deal today, literally 20 minutes ago. He sends me 2 or 3 a day. Okay, let me show it to you. This is what I get almost every day from Ernest and 50 other wholesalers, or bird dogs, I should say. They literally copy and paste somebody else's address that they have under contract. This is the bird. Ernest is a bird dog, by the way. None of these houses does he get under contract. He goes to wholesalers who have them under contract and he says, hey, here's a house. Here's the price. Here's the interest rate. He knows I only buy SubTo deals, so he's not going to bring me stuff that's not SubTo. He's not going to waste my time. And he says, hey, here's a deal. In fact, I wonder if this is a deal. Let's look at it. STR, definitely not. Okay, it's a really small property. It's 1,218 square feet. So watch. I'm just going to let him know. I'm going to say, hey, brother, too small for me. I'm looking for SubTo deals that I can turn into co-living. I need around 2,000 square feet. Oh, sorry, I'm not sharing that with you guys. I apologize. So sorry. So there you go. I will text him back. That's my feedback, right? So this bird dog brought me a property from somebody else and I gave him the feedback. He sent me I tell him, I don't want HOAs. Don't give me HOAs. So he gives me no HOA, but look at the square footage. It's just really, really small. I don't want a house that's that small. I can't turn that into a co-living and rent it out by the room. It's really small. It's like the size of a garage, maybe like a garage and one bedroom. That's basically it. Okay. So the bird dog is sending me addresses. Are those addresses that Ernest is sending me, are those addresses he cold called, he negotiated, he went to the living room, he got a contract on, or are those houses he got from somebody else and just copied and pasted over to me? Which one? Give me an answer in the side chat. Copy and paste. And you see how I gave him feedback? That's literally your job as a bird dog. That's your job. Find a quality buyer. Those are typically in SubTo. I'll show you how to find buyers that are not in SubTo for those of you guys who are not in our community. And I will do that for you guys in about 5 minutes. Okay. So you're going to find as many wholesalers or suppliers as you can. Again, really easy cheat code is just finding wholesalers and suppliers in the SubTo community. And you're copying and pasting, copy and pasting, copy and pasting, copy and pasting. Maddie, the homeless lady, had to copy and paste 47 properties to me before she got a yes. The average person takes about 29 addresses. You send me 29 addresses, you're going to get paid. The average deal that I see bird dogs make is about $15,000. Okay. Anna Guerra says, how do you determine how much to charge as a bird dog? Anna, I will get to that in just a minute. Okay. Am I doing a good job teaching you guys step by step? Are we getting nitty gritty enough? Are you enjoying this? It's really challenging for newbies. They can't turn their brain off. They want to know the answer that's 17 minutes away. Okay, 17 minutes away. So I just relax. Okay, let me stay on the topic that I'm on. All right, cool. So here's how this works. Here's how the bird dog gets paid. The bird dog gets paid from the fix and flippers finance people. Okay, so how do I buy properties? If I'm a fix and flipper, do I use my own money? Heck no, I do not use my own money. So here is the flipper. This is him right here. This is what happens. Okay, there are 3 contracts now in this situation. Okay, contract number 1 is the A2B contract. Then there is the B to C contract. So this is party B, party C. Okay, so there's another contract, right? So this is the purchase and sell agreement. This is the assignment agreement, okay, between the wholesaler and the bird dogger. And then finally, the third contract is the C to D contract, final contract. That is also known as an assignment or sometimes a JV, okay? How many contracts are involved in this transaction? Let's test everybody. How many contracts are involved in this transaction? Cool. There are 3 contracts. Now, where do these contracts go? Okay. These contracts all go down to the same place. They go to this magical place called a title company. And at the title company, there's this awesome figure. It's called an escrow officer. They are a human being. And this escrow officer is the person that manages all 3 of those contracts. They see all the instructions on all 3 contracts. They see where everybody's getting paid. They understand exactly what they're going to do. Now, the escrow officer is going to ask this fix and flipper. She's going to say, hey, Flip, how are you paying for this house? Okay. How are you paying for this house? If you guys remember the example, the property was under contract for $125,000. The bird dog got it for $150,000. And Flip decided he would pay the bird dog 10 grand. So Flip is paying $160,000 for this house. Okay. So the title company is going to say, hey, Flip, how are you paying for this house? You got $160,000 plus you got to give us $10,000 for our closing costs. So where's the $170,000 coming from, Flip? Well, Flip answers that question very simply. He says, well, it's not my money. I'm using a couple of things. I'm using one, a hard money lender, and two, I'm now also using a private money lender. So Flip is going to say, I'm going to use a company called myinvestorloan.com. That's how fix and flippers buy houses with no money out of their pocket, myinvestorloan.com. And then Flip says, I email money at pacemorby.com. And that team gives me my construction money and my down payment money. Okay. So this right here is a hard money lender. My investor loan right here is a hard money lender, gives you 90% of the purchase. And then down here, this is a private money lender. Okay. This is what we would call a Gator, somebody who is going to do a Gator deal. Cool. So these companies send $170,000 to where? Where does that $170,000 go? Does it go to Flip? Does it go to the bird dog? Where does it go? Cool. So these two organizations right here, organization number one, organization number two, they wire $170,000 on behalf of Flip. Okay. And Flip is $0 out of pocket to flip this house. He's going to now go flip this house. Okay. Cool. So where does that $170,000 go? Right. The title company is right here. Title. And here's this lady. She's sitting there holding $170,000. Here's what she does. She wires $125,000 to the seller and the agent. She then wires $25,000 to the wholesaler who found the deal originally. She then wires $10,000 to the bird dog. Okay. And then she keeps the other $10,000 for herself because she needs to get paid for her services. Flip gets, in this situation, Flip gets $0. Okay. Because he just bought a house with no money out of pocket. He used somebody else's money. So Flip doesn't get any money. He gets $0. Does everybody now understand where the money comes from and how the money gets into everybody's hands? Can I get a thank you if you just had an epiphany of how this works? Did you just get the epiphany? Did you just have a moment of, wow, I get it now. This is awesome. I know how the title company distributes the money, and I don't have to worry about knocking on the person's door to do the thing. Okay, so Noah says, how do we get the JV agreement to title? Okay, so Noah, can I be sarcastic with you a little bit? Noah, there's this thing, it's called email. And it was invented in like the 70s, but like it wasn't really adopted until the 90s. Since you've been alive, I definitely know it's become mainstream, but it's called email. And you can definitely look that up on YouTube, how you can do that, okay? Pace, how do I get deals in front of you? You cannot. If you are a SubTo member, you can get deals in front of me. If you are not a SubTo member, go do deals with my students. I love it. Carl Schwartz says, seriously, I was missing two important pieces. Apologies. You don't need to apologize. Carl, what were the two pieces? I'm going to pull you up here. What were the two pieces you were missing, bro? Carl, what were the two pieces you were missing? Yeah,
Can
I'm
you hear
here.
me okay?
I can
Rock
hear
and
you.
roll. Honestly, as many times as I've watched the Gator trainings, and it's a lot, like maybe 4 times per sometimes. Um, and I still feel like I don't know it all, and I still go back to it. I was actually missing the breakdown how you did it this time. Seems different to me than it has been previously. And honestly, it just the way you laid it out and you explained it to me this time, for whatever reason, it just fell into place. Like I can see who the wholesaler is. I see who the seller is. I get the flip thing, but I still actually don't know how he doesn't make money. Um, but
How Flip doesn't make money?
oh yeah, bro.
Well, he hasn't flipped the house yet, bro. He literally
Oh,
just bought it
I got
today. What are you talking about?
it. Dig it. All right, understood.
Now this is a great question because when I flip a house, thank you, Carl. When
Yes,
I
sir.
flip a house, I actually over borrow from my private money lenders and I get paid up front on my flip. So I will actually over borrow more money than I need. So in this situation, how much money did Flip borrow from his lenders, his Gators? The number's right here, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you asking me?
Yeah, of course. You're the guy on the screen,
One
knucklehead.
170,000. Apologies.
Okay, so he borrowed 170,000 to go flip this house, right? So he's paid the bird dog, he's paid the wholesaler, he's paid the title company. Could he not just go borrow an extra $15,000 from a Gator and pay himself $15,000 on day one for buying the flip? The answer is yes, he can. Carl is going to go, are you talking to me? Yes, Carl, we're talking to you.
Yes.
Okay, so now what's going to happen is I'm into this property 185 before I even do anything with the property. But if I'm going to go, let's say I add 50K to it in renovations and I clean it up and I go get permits
Right
and
on.
I go sell the property. Let's say I sell it for $350,000 and I get
Uh,
paid. By the way, I'm going really fast and making this up, but let's say I go
you-
sell it. My name is Flip and I go sell this thing at $350,000. I made on day one, I made 15K. I like getting paid up front. That's kind of nice. You can do that when you flip. Then when I sell it for 350, everybody gets their money back. Plus, I make probably another $80,000 on the flip. So of course, here's the beautiful thing about this. You need to understand. If flip is making 80 grand on a flip, okay? So like the most recent flip that I did from a bird dog, we just got it under contract. I'm netting $55,000 with no money out of my pocket. Okay. Doing exactly that same way. I'm doing it with a girl named Dajé. That house, if I'm $0 out of pocket, do I care about coming up with $5, $10, or $15,000 for the bird dog that brought me the deal if my private money lender is the one that paid for it?
No,
No,
never ever.
never ever. I don't care. Okay. I'm in the process right now paying somebody 90 grand on an RV park. One of my SubTo members that's bringing me an RV park is making 90 grand.
That's wild, bro.
Not really. It's a $5 million park and
Oh,
somebody else is coming up with the money.
hmm.
And if I'm still making money, what do I care? Right. So the way I look
Right.
at it is I go, if I pay you and I pay you appropriately, I try and think that I have a rich man's mindset. I'm not perfect, but I have a rich man's mindset saying, I want to pay you what you're worth because that means you're going to come back to me and bring me deals for the rest of my life.
Absolutely. Build rapport.
It's the greatest marketing of all time, right? If I pay my bird dog, guess what my bird dogs want to do? They want to keep doing deals with me. Now, do I have to hire salespeople and outsource it? Or I'm sorry, salespeople and have negotiations and CRMs and find my own deals? Or can I teach other people to find the deals for me and just bring them to me and I pay them appropriately and I don't have to manage human beings?
Boom. That part.
Oh my gosh, now I understand why people like bird dogs. Well, because I don't want to have an acquisition department anymore. I just want to teach people how to be bird dogs. It actually stop and think about how freaking gangster this strategy is for people like me. Pace, why do you teach? Why do you do all this stuff for free? Well, here's a couple things I do for free. You cannot hang out with me in Gator. You cannot hang out with me in SubTo unless you are part of our country club. I have a paid country club called Our Creative Community. Definitely for sure. I want to do deals with those people. However, think about this. Think about this. If I teach the free public, right? I call them the freebies. If I teach the freebies, the people that are free, that they're probably afraid of even buying a Costco membership because they think they're afraid of failure. I'm afraid of losing $97 a year to Costco type of thing. If I teach those people how to do bird dogging deals, where do they bring the bird dog deals? They bring them to the SubTo members. The SubTo members then bring them to me. It's genius. I have an endless amount of deal flow coming to me for the rest of my life, and it costs me nothing. Pace, why do you teach for free? Because I want to do deals, my friends. I want to do deals. I want to buy deals with people. I bought $100 million in real estate from my SubTo members in 2024. Tell me I'm not making money teaching you how to do deals. Okay? So, does everybody understand why I teach? How I make money when I teach? Does everybody understand why a bird dog is necessary? Why a buyer is happy to pay a bird dog? Where their money comes from? Why they don't care that the bird dog's making money? Okay, there you go. There you go. They all add value. Now, we have somebody today, but let me see if they're here today. I believe they are. Carly is probably sitting there going to tell me. She's probably going to say, yes, he is here. Yeah. We have a gentleman named Bill. Let's bring Bill up here and let's tell Bill's story so you guys know that I'm not the only one buying deals and doing these types of deals. Let's bring Bill up here. Let's do a short interview with Bill. Bill, what up, my friend, my homie?
How's it going? Can you hear me?
There's Bill. What up, brother? How you doing?
Hey, doing well. How are you?
I'm so good. Bill, tell the people where you live. Tell the people what you are doing and why you are here to chat with us.
I'm in Connecticut, which is funny. I was talking with Carly backstage, and I feel like no matter what group I'm in or who I talk to, nobody is in Connecticut. We have Jersey, we have Massachusetts, but there's just not a lot of Connecticut.
What about Sherry Fitzgerald?
Well, anyone, I was going to say, anyone in here, anyone, just let me know. I'll meet you in Connecticut, wherever you are.
Dude, did you not come and hang out with me at the Connecticut meetup?
When was the Connecticut meetup?
Hold on. Let's pull this up. This was in, let's see. Let's see, Connecticut.
Where in Connecticut? Hartford?
I don't know. You might recognize this. It was in October. And we had, I'd say 80 people on a pier in Connecticut.
Oh, was this after the OC event?
Yes, it was right after the OC event. I had like 80 people from Connecticut all there.
Yeah, where was it? Before I saw it, I actually was hunting that weekend up at my uncle's in upstate New York. But yes, I do remember seeing that because I remember the OC event. I don't remember where you were in Connecticut.
Yeah, Sherry Fitzgerald put it together. We had 80 people there. It was pretty awesome. I'd say 60 out of the 80 people were there in Connecticut. But anyway, that's beside the point. So you're in Connecticut, which is, I do agree with you. Like truly, when you look at the real estate investing world, it seems very heavy, like Texas, North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, like very heavy, Georgia. Connecticut is one of those funny places where people, when you go, oh yeah, I'm from the Northeast, they're like, oh, Jersey, New York. They're like, yeah. They'll say anything but Connecticut.
Yeah, no, it's a funny state. Like when I travel, I talk to Uber drivers or whatever, and I'm like, I would never tell you like, oh my God, you have to go visit Connecticut. But love living here. It's like, it's gorgeous in the summer. We're close to skiing. We're close city, Philly, Boston. Like we're close to a lot. We don't have it.
I feel like if you were anywhere near like North Dakota, South Dakota, you would be the coolest state on the planet. The problem is you are surrounded by Boston, Massachusetts, Manhattan, Philly, you are in the middle of all the coolest cities in the entire country. So even though you guys are epic, you're just not quite as epic as your epic neighbor. So, Bill, where are you buying? Are you buying in Connecticut or are you buying in other states?
I am buying in Connecticut. I do a lot of college rentals. So kind of, we were doing, I guess, a version of co-living before co-living was really a thing. And we just didn't even know it. college rental is very similar. You rent out by the room and you get a group of, 4 to 6 kids that are all friends. What I love about college rentals is the parents sign the guarantees on the lease. So we're not really concerned about the money coming in, because it's not the tenants that are actually backing it, it's their parents, who are paying for their college education or loans, whatever it is. But so it's got a pretty good backing on those, and similar to co-living, you can charge more than a long-term rental. So that's kind of where my buy box has been focused for a short period of time now.
Love it. And are you open to doing deals with bird dogs? Have you done a deal with a bird dog?
Yeah, so I actually started as a bird dog. My real estate journey's been a little different. I started with your, rich dad, poor dad, traditional real estate, wanted to burr everything. And then I was doing short-term rentals, and then just didn't have money to continue doing anything. So I had a buddy in Connecticut. He was my college roommate who I saw who was doing real estate. So I talked with him. He was doing fix and flips. And I was like, what can I do? How can I help you? How can I get involved? And he was like, honestly, I just need more deal flow, similar to everything you've been saying. Like, I don't have time to find the deals, get the deals. So that's when I just started.
And manage the construction. Like the guy is so busy, tied up with other stuff that he's like, bro, Bill, hook a brother up, go find me deals.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. And again, I had an easy transition into it because in my head, I always said I didn't want to wholesale, like it wasn't for me. So this to me wasn't really wholesaling. This was just talking to people, going in Facebook groups, kind of building relationships. And that's really how I started. And then I did that for about a year with him solely. But then kind of just decided I needed to expand from that a little bit more and transition out to start doing more of my own thing.
I love this point. I actually, when Carly was telling me that you were coming, I was like, oh, Bill's dope. I love Bill. And I love the fact that your story is that you started as a bird dog and you are not currently a bird dog. Now, here's the thing. If I came to you, Bill, and I said, hey, Bill, if you run into something in Connecticut that you don't want that fits my buy box, you would obviously bring it to me and you would make a fee. You would essentially bird dog almost on accident, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So it's like, once you're a bird dog, you're always a bird dog. It's just that you're not an intentional bird dog as you wake up in the morning. You're not trying to go after bird dog deals anymore, because now what the first year of real estate taught you, as you probably made a couple $100,000 bird dogging for your buddy, is you understood all the players at play. You understood every terminology. You met title companies. You saw challenges at title. You saw what your buddy was doing with the houses. Your buddy taught you, hey, Bill, that's a good deal. That's not a good deal. Bill, that should be $50,000 less than you send it to me for. So really, bird dogging was your education, making money on the process. And now here you are expanding your horizon and going holding properties, which is what I love about you too, is that you knew you didn't want to be a wholesaler from the beginning. You knew you wanted to buy and hold. Bird dogging just was the gateway to get into that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's more than anything what you said. Like, obviously, the money is one thing, but it's like a shortcut to education and learning, because you have one specific person, you're getting their buy box, and ideally they're a good person. If not, you can move on and find someone else to do it. But they're willing to educate you and explain to you, rather than just saying, no, not interested, no, it's not a good deal. Like, they're going to explain to you why it's not a good deal. So then you're bringing them better deals. Because if they just say no, you may not know why it's not a good deal, what you should be looking for instead. So getting that education from the buyer, to me was more valuable than the money itself. And not only that, you're also building all these relationships with wholesalers who they could wind up being partners. They could wind up becoming buyers in the future and flipping their business. So, the relationship part of it is really, I think, more valuable than anything.
Okay, so Bill, why would somebody not want to stay a bird dog for the rest of their life? Like, why wouldn't I just be a bird dog for 20 years? Let's ask you specifically, like, why did you not just stay as a bird dog for the next 20 years?
I mean, listen, I think people could. I think it's personality thing for people. Had my own business for 10 years, and then, went in back into W-2 world and wanted to get out of that. So being a bird dog to me started to feel a little bit like working for someone, which I have an ick against. I don't do good working for people and taking, orders or whatever you want to call it.
You and I are both allergic to the same thing.
Yeah, it's funny. I had an entrepreneurship teacher and I was getting my MBA, and he said if you don't get out early, you get stuck climbing the corporate ladder, and then you have kids, and it's like you get comfortable and get harder and harder. David Goggins talked about it at Squat Up. He said, everything you said was very, you said it on stage about similar thing I just said, good job, good money, all these things. And he said, what I hear there is comfort. And that is really like what the killer is for people, is they're just comfortable. So that's why they don't take that leap. But for me, it was really, I felt I had learned so much at that point that, like I said, I owned my own business in the past and I had that kind of like entrepreneurial itch again. So I just wanted to kind of go out on my own and expand more and, really take the chance to see, was I capable of doing it? And if not, or if I realized it wasn't what I like to do, I could always go back to the bird dog, and I already had those connections. But it just felt like the right time to kind of go out on my own and take that leap.
Yeah, I love this. I think that same thing for me. Like the first year, year and a half of my business, very similar to your journey, was that I just had one person I was finding deals for. And it made it so easy because I could rely on what she said. I just kept bringing her the deals. She fed me information. She taught me throughout the process. I was earning and learning at the same exact time. Not what most people do, which is learn, not earn, right? And one day, somebody was teasing me that was like a buy and hold investor. This is probably about 8-9 years ago. And I had bought a couple of rentals, but I am definitely not to where I am today, and definitely not in the business you're doing now. You have way more traction than I ever did when, I was in that phase. Like, you're way ahead of me. But this person says to me, they go, you got to stop bird dogging for other people. And I go, what do you mean? And he goes, you're basically drinking Diet Coke when you should be drinking Coke. And I was like, what do you mean? They go, bird dogging is like diet entrepreneurship. It's like, it's almost the real thing, but there's like some components that are missing from it. It's like you're too afraid to just have the real bottle of Mexican Coke. So you jump into the Diet Coke, and at some point you just upgrade. So it is diet entrepreneurship, or it's entrepreneurship light. It removes a lot of the risk. It removes a lot of the challenges and the excuses and all that stuff, but it also removes two things. I think it removes the larger benefits of being full-time, real estate investor on your own, but it also is missing that challenge that you and I wake up every single morning of, what am I going to do to make money today? And I think you and I are wired to desire that. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I totally agree. And it's funny because I know I said I didn't want to wholesale, but as I was bird dogging, I think I came into it like bigger pockets, rich dad, poor dad. So I just like the wholesale, all of it seemed so foreign to me and like just not something I wanted to do. But then after doing the bird dogging and kind of like seeing the money he was making, all these other people were making, I thought the easiest transition, because I was still scared of the fix and flip. So to me, the easiest transition was then I got into wholesaling, because now I knew how to get buyers. I already had the conversations with wholesalers about, JVing to the buyer and stuff. So now I just needed to go direct to seller. And I was already comfortable with having those conversations. I understood the contracts, and I talked to the wholesalers about why that person was selling. Like, as I knew I was trying to transition, then I would talk to my wholesalers about try to get more information, like what they were getting from their seller. So why was this person selling? Like, get those pain points from the wholesaler. So then when I knew I wanted to transition to wholesale, I knew those same questions to ask and how to get those pain points out and things like that. Um, so to me, like the bird dogging, it's like you go from that to wholesaling if you want, then into fix and flipping. Like, you have so many different paths you can choose from it too. And it's like an easy no cost, for not even a low cost. It's a no cost barrier of entry to education and money.
Yeah. Somebody asked me the other day, like, what software do I need for bird dogging? I'm like, literally nothing. Like, you literally, I'm like, my software, I have a software sponsor that's coming up for this like 100-day road trip tour that we're going to, and by the way, I will be in Connecticut, and you will better not be hunting when I come through Connecticut again.
I'll be there.
I'll make sure we coordinate on the dates, but I have this software sponsor, and he's like, dude, will you like figure out a way that bird dogs have to use software so that we could make money? I'm like, first off, no, that's just not how I do business. But second off, like, I got to really stretch to think, what does a bird dog need with a CRM? You know, like you can literally do this whole business just from your cell phone. You don't need any CRM. You don't need any fancy software. It really is a truly zero cost business.
Yeah. Um, I will say, one software they can use. I don't know if, I think it is compatible. Link Blue, it's called. And
What's
this goes,
Link Blue do?
it makes sure if you have an Android, it makes your text come
Don't
through.
tell him that, Bill. Just tell him to get a freaking iPhone. What are you doing, dude?
Yeah, well, you can trick people. You can come through in blue instead of having the green bubbles like you were saying
Yeah.
yesterday.
One of my team members left to go to that company.
Oh, really?
And yeah. Sam, his name's Sam. They went to that company. He called me up. He's like, dude, we solved the Android problem. And I was like, no, just tell them to buy an iPhone. What's the name of it? Link Blue?
I think it's called Link Blue. I've never used it because I have an iPhone, but I've seen it because
Or do you?
well, my CRM doesn't, so that's why I started looking at stuff because I don't even like sending things with the green. So yeah, I know there's something out there, so that might be the one tool they can use.
Bill, what is something that you need more of? Do you need private capital? Do you need people to send you deals? What do you need more of right now?
Deal flow. I have some capital partners I use. So yeah, deals would always be best. And like you said, if the deals don't work for me, I know people that are also looking, and I can always pass them on to other people. And obviously at no cost there or anything like that. But deals and um, relationships. People helped me, so any way I can help or give back to people, I'm always open to have conversations and just talk and help any way I can as well.
I love it. Bill, thank you for being here. We put your Instagram in the side chat. Here's what everybody should be doing. Go and DM Bill right now. Follow him on Instagram. Send him a message and saying, hey, thanks for saying that part about blank. That really opened up my eyes about blah, blah, blah. Thanks for talking about how you went through bird dogging for a year to get you to where you are today. Bill, I will see you before Squat Up Summit, but how good was Squat Up Summit this year?
Squad at Summit was great, and I was bummed I actually missed the first year, just based off good. I was taking the videos. I gotta say, I don't know if you guys did it the first year. One of the things I thought was the coolest that I've never seen at another conference or anything was like before each speaker, the videos like you and Jameel talking, just like about different things and stuff. I love that part of it. I thought that, everything was great, but that to me, for some reason, I was taking videos of it. Like that stuff stuck out to me so much.
Thank you.
Oh,
We put
second
six
thing.
people on that.
I bought a ticket for my wife and me and didn't bring her because when was it? March. We had our baby in June and she didn't want to bring a baby that young. And I saw so many people there with babies, strollers. So I was so mad. I didn't think, I mean, I just wouldn't have thought to bring a newborn essentially to that. There was literally a mom nursing. So that side of it, the family community side of it, by far the coolest part. And now I
Yeah,
can't wait to bring them
what
to
what I
it.
love about that is I want to attract people just like you, and I want to hang out with people just like you, married dudes committed to their families, having babies, doing all the thing. And so I tell everybody, I'm like, bring your wife, have them hang out with other wives. Bring your
Yep.
kids, have them hang out with other kids. This year, Denver, Colorado, we've got this massive like lazy river for the kids and all sorts of stuff. So it's like an all-inclusive pool thing for the kids to hang out the whole time. So your kid's still going to be only 1 year old, bro. Like, I guess, I don't know if you
Well,
guys
he'll
will bring
be.
it this year.
Oh no, he's coming, and we baby number two's coming in September, so he's coming as well. Yeah, they're both coming.
Bro, you did not wait at all, dude.
No, I want to just knock as many out as I can as fast as I can and be done with it.
Wow, September. That's so fast. Okay, so you're going to have, let's see, you had a baby just barely. Your wife got pregnant. Are those babies going to be Irish twins? They're going to be the
Just
same?
now they're like 15 months. I really wanted the Irish twins.
Hey, and you know what? It's not too late. Right after September, bro, get on it.
Yeah, right at the boardroom.
Guys, go and message Bill. Here's the cool thing. Bill does have capital partners. Here's a couple of things I would message Bill. One, Bill, thanks for being on here. Show gratitude, have an attitude of gratitude. Number two, say, hey, I want your buy box. Ask Bill what his buy box is so you guys can work deals with him. He was a bird dog for an entire year. He's an incredible person inside of our SubTo community. He's not just buying deals in Connecticut. I'm sure you'll buy deals in other places, right?
Yeah, I do. Like you said, typical states. We look at Florida, North Carolina, trying to look in Wyoming, Montana, and Texas as well.
Love it. So guys, go and message him. His Instagram is right here in the side chat. He should have 900 DMs and 900 new followers on Instagram. I don't know if you guys that have Androids have the ability to use Instagram, but we'll see what happens there. Bill, thank you for being here, brother. I appreciate you tremendously.
Of course, you got it. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Guys, so here's the cool thing. I wanted to bring Bill on here because I wanted people to understand that bird dogging was not only an incredible way to get into the business, but it's a big, big reason why Bill has become how badass Bill is, right? He basically has gone out and said, all right, I'm going to go bird dog for somebody for an entire year. I'm going to learn the ropes and I'm going to make money in the process. And then I'm going to upgrade to the next level. What's cool about the SubTo community and what we do is that once you're in the SubTo community, you can follow any path. You can go multifamily, mobile home parks, land, whatever. Creative finance covers every single part of the industry. So as you are a bird dog, you can go, all right, cool. I've done 4 deals as a bird dog. I'm ready to start wholesaling. That's what Bill did. It is also interesting. A lot of people think they want to wholesale. And what I love about Bill is that Bill said, I didn't want to wholesale. This is my favorite part of what he said. I didn't want to wholesale, so I started bird dogging first because he understands the difference between bird dogging and wholesaling. It is not the same. He also, second favorite part of what he said is he says, I focused on one buyer for an entire year. If I were you and you want to build a relationship with Bill, I would follow him on Instagram, DM him. I would also offer him, hey man, can I jump in one of your deals? I'll bring private money to you. I'll bring you some capital. But if you also want his buy box, I would go and DM him on Instagram and go, can you give me your buy box so I can start sending you opportunities? How many people are going to send Bill a message? Give me a thumbs up emoji. How many people are going to send Bill a message? Cool. Go and love on Bill. That was really cool. I love that part of, I started as a bird dog for a year. I stayed with one buyer for a year. I now am buying and holding and doing co-living. I'm doing student housing for a long time. My saddest part is that Bill did not bring his wife and his kid to Squat Up Summit. But for those of you guys that don't know what Squat Up Summit is, it is our community's family reunion. We all get together once a year, about 3,500 of us all in person. SubTo, Gator, top tier TC. You have to be in our community to go to this event. And it is, think about this. This is how big our community is. We have the largest real estate event in the world. Okay. Largest real estate event in the world. It's 3,500 people. We're bigger than Bigger Pockets. Love Bigger Pockets, but we're bigger than Bigger Pockets by nearly 1,000 people. We are bigger than everybody else. Okay. The biggest Airbnb conference I've ever seen was 2,800 people. We're at 3,500 people. And the only way to get there is to be in our community. You can go to Bigger Pockets no matter who you are. You can go to Airbnb conferences no matter who you are. You cannot even get a ticket to the largest real estate event in the world without being in our private community, which is freaking awesome. So Bill, I'll see you in Connecticut probably within the next 90 days or so. I will definitely be out there. Give me a yes if you guys are going to send Bill a DM on Instagram. How many of you guys are going to send Bill a DM on Instagram? So there's a buyer, right? There's another buyer. So a couple of questions that keep coming up in the side chat is, where do I find my buyers? Well, I'm going to show you guys where to find buyers, okay? And we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but we have about 250 people more today than we had yesterday. So I feel like I've got to be a little bit redundant before we jump into where do we find sellers, okay? Where do we find suppliers? Cameron Rodriguez said, can we discuss setting a finder's fee amount? Yes, we sure can. Let's focus on that for the next 7 minutes. Here's how I determine my finder's fee with my bird dogs. Do we all agree? Give me a thumbs up emoji. Do we all agree that every buyer is going to have their own fee structure? They're not all going to follow my fee structure. Do we all agree with that? So do we all agree that when you find that buyer, you have to ask that buyer about your fee structure? Here's my fee structure, okay? My fee structure is this. If I can, when I go fix and flip a house, okay? When I go and fix and flip a house and I'm going to sell that house for $400,000 to a family, that's my final sales price. I'm going to sell it to a family that's going to move in and they're going to pay $400,000 for that house. My team is looking for a 10% net return on that price. meaning I need to make $40,000 minimum in order to hit my number. And if I can hit my number and still pay you $10,000, then I will. Okay, that's $10,000. If I can't hit my number, I will pay you $5,000. Meaning if I can make 8% or I can make 7.5% and we still do the flip, I will pay you $5,000. The same goes where if I can make, let's say 10% of the net, you're making 10K. Under 10% of the net, you're making 5K. Over 15% or higher, I will pay you $15,000. So let's do a quick test. If the house is going to be worth $400,000, okay, when I sell the property, how much money would I have to net on this deal for you to make $15,000? How much would I have to net for you to make $15,000? Interesting. I like how you guys do this math really, really. Wow. Literally not one person agrees with this. Okay. 60K. There you go. You guys got it. In order for you to hit a $15,000 fee for literally just bringing me somebody else's deal, this property needs to net me $60,000, which means I just need to get it at a really good price, right? So the last 5 bird dog deals I've done, I paid $90,000 on an RV park recently. I paid $5,000 to Maddie, the homeless lady, on a deal I bought from her because I'm making about 8%. I paid somebody $10,000 right before that. Her name is Kelly. Right before that, I paid somebody $15,000 on a deal that I'm making 15% on. I just paid somebody $22,500 on a deal. His name is Gordon, because that was a very juicy deal. So let's look at this. And then I paid Dajay $5,000. You guys know Dajay. Dajay made $5,000. Cool. So out of the last 6 deals I did, let's take the 90K out. That 90K just kind of destroys the whole average. It just shouldn't count. I think a lot of people are not going to start with RV park bird dogging in the beginning because those take longer. But let's just look at the average, right? You got 5, 50, that's 30, 35, 57,000. So the average deal is about $11,000 for the last 5 deals that I did. Does this answer the question of how do I structure my fees? Have I answered that sufficiently enough? Okay, so Hilton really, really, really wants to focus on daisy chains, which I think is a really great question. Let's talk about what a daisy chain is versus what is not a daisy chain. So let's talk about this. Hilton, I want you guys to write this down because this is a really great question that Hilton is asking. Hilton, what's up? How you doing? Hilton, what up? All right, well, some people just don't know how to unmute themselves on Zoom. So here's what a daisy chain is. Bird dogging is where I'm honest. Bird dogging is where I tell the truth. Daisy chaining is when I lie and I say I'm the buyer when I'm not. That is daisy chaining. Okay, that is not what we want to ever do in this business. We never want to lie and say I'm the buyer when I'm not. Bird dogging is when I go to my buyer. Let's say Bill, right? Bill is a buyer. And I say, hey, Bill, my name is Pace. I'm brand new. I want to bring you deals. Do you mind if I bring you deals from other wholesalers and you pay me a fee? Cool. So I'm not pretending like I'm bringing Bill my deals. Bill knows exactly what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and I know he's going to pay me for doing that thing. I then go to the wholesalers, which we will talk about tomorrow morning or tomorrow when we first start out. Hey, suppliers, my name is Pace. I have a really great buyer I'm looking for deals for. I'm not posing as the buyer. I am not lying to anybody. I am being fully transparent in every single thing that I do. Okay? Every single thing that I do. How many people want me to get to the prize of the day where I give away a spot? Ooh, I just got another deal from Ernest. Monthly payment, $3,200 Glen Rosa. Oh, it's in an HOA. Dang, it's a 3,000 square foot, 4-bed, 2.5 bath. That is freaking awesome. Dang it. It's in an HOA. Our HOA is bad. They're bad for co-living, right? They're bad for Airbnbs. They're bad for co-living. They're good for everything else. Okay. Anna Guerra says, I am unsure of how I'm getting paid. Guys, have we covered today how a bird dog gets paid? What paperwork is included? Have I covered that for about a year? Give me a yes if I covered that in depth. There you go. I'm not going to do it again. I'm not going to do it again. We are moving on. We are not covering that again. We did it deep. Guys, type in the word deep if we went deep on how the fee is done and how you get paid. All right. Amazing. Okay. So for those of you guys that showed up a little bit late, we are going to be giving away an award, a really fun thing. If you guys want to come to my office, as you guys can see, I've been helping a homeless lady. I'm now done helping that homeless lady. I'm now moving on to another person. That person has been selected. By the way, I have 4 more people I'm going to select over the next couple of months. A teenager, a father that has multiple jobs, somebody that's doing side hustles, a wounded veteran, a single mom that has multiple kids. I'm going to be selecting people that I actually work with hands-on, record, do all the documentation, give it away to the world, all the video content everybody gets access to. Okay. I will be selecting those people out of the free Facebook group over the next couple of months, so stay tuned to that. But I just announced somebody to my team that we are having this woman come into my office on Monday. She's the second person I'm going to be helping. She is an Uber driver. She's doing side hustles to survive. Okay, so I took a homeless person. I showed the world that I could help a homeless person with these methods. I did not do the work for her. Now with this Uber driver, I'm not going to be the buyer because that was the biggest complaint that I got. A lot of people, oh, well, you were the buyer. Of course it worked out great. Come like victim. Every blame. Okay, cool. So the next person we're going to do is struggling to survive, barely making ends meet. She is going to be coming into my office on Monday afternoon coming up. We are going to be selecting somebody for me to pay for your flight and for your hotel for one day to come out, spend the day at my office and sit next to this woman as I give her a game plan for 4 hours. How many people want to win that prize tonight? How many people want to win that prize tonight? Give me a me or a yes. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you guys like 1 more minute to go over to the YouTube video. I'll put it on pause. Carly, will you come up on the stage real fast as I wrap up for the day? I'm going to have you select the person from the YouTube comments. I'm going to have you select the person, and I'm going to take the pressure off of myself and put the pressure on you.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Let me go get to the comments real quick. Right now?
Yeah, let's do it. Well, I don't want you to select it right now. I'm going to give them like 30 seconds to make a comment.
Where's the link? I need the link so I can go.
I'm pulling it up right now. Hold on a second. Okay, here it is. We currently have 600 comments.
There was 0 comments yesterday and 6 likes when you announced it.
Wow. Well, we are at 600 comments.
Right.
So here's the YouTube video right here. So guys, you have 30 seconds to go in there and make a comment on YouTube. No, I'll give it a minute. We'll go to 6:54. 6:54. And Carly, you're going to go on that YouTube video and we're going to select somebody and then we will have the team pay for that flight. Now, tomorrow, here's what we're going to be doing tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to start out with another guest. And then I'm going to give you guys a game plan on how you can guarantee to get your first bird dog deal in less than a week. We're going to give you guys the exact steps to how to get a bird dog deal in your first week or less of doing bird dogging. I'm going to give you guys a game plan tomorrow. But today, we're going to wrap it all up with an awesome. Did you Were you surprised when I said I'm going to pay for a flight? Were you like, that's boring? That Pace does that crap all the time.
No, I was surprised. You don't pay for flights. You invite people, but you typically don't pay for flights. That's a new thing.
I'll tell you why. Because about 4 years ago, I had this guy, I gave this thing, I said, I'll pay for your flights. I used the word flights. He was then all frustrated and he threatened to sue me because I wasn't bringing his wife with him because he says, you said flights. And I go, I'm done. I can yet not even imagine. Guys, this award that we're giving right now is for one person. I'm paying for your flights, meaning you're to here and back. Okay? To here and back. That's it. Don't be like, well, can my dog come? It's a service dog.
We're gonna pick someone with a service dog watch.
Oh, bro, no. We are not gonna be doing this.
Okay.
Okay, you are in charge.
All right. Are we ready to go?
We are ready to go.
Is it 6? Okay. I'm gonna refresh it so we get a whole fresh batch. Should I pick a top one or should I? Let's see. I'll just do random and just stop. Oh, nobody has their name really.
I know they're gonna have. This is what's so silly about people and building their brand. They're like, Snap, Crackle, and Pop 42 is their YouTube name.
This is like the most generic name. I should share it so you can see it. Maybe it's REI_investor.
How does somebody even have that? Okay, REI_investor. Here's what I want you to do. If you are REI_investor, I want you to email my friend Carly at pacemorby.com and tell her, hey, I won. And we will make sure the company gets you a flight and a hotel for you to come out here on Monday as I teach this lady who is struggling to survive. She's basically surviving on DoorDash and Uber Eats. Okay. We are going to be giving you guys a flight and a hotel. You know, what'd be really lucky is if that person is already in Arizona.
Oh, snap. That would be amazing.
I'd be lucky. I'd save like $1,000.
Like lucked out.
Carly, if that person is in Arizona, I will Venmo you $1,000. We'll save the money on and send it to you.
Oh my gosh.
Take your husband
love
Alex
this.
on a special date.
All right, Alex, I'm going to take you on a special date.
The thing is, you can only go on a special date with Alex if you spend all $1,000 on the date.
Okay, that's easy. I can spend some money.
Maybe you get a nice
problem doing that.
You get a nice dress, maybe
Yes.
you get a nice outfit, and then you spend $40 on food.
Okay, $40. I love it.
Okay, so Carly, you selected the person, REI_investor. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Guys, we will be back here tomorrow with a game plan on how you guys can get your first bird dog deal. We're going to be opening it up with our final guest. Her name is Rinda. She's actually bird dogging right now in an RV park for another SubTo member. I believe they're in contract. So we'll open up tomorrow right at the top of the hour. I'm going to go really long tomorrow, probably about 4 hours. So bring your pen, your paper. We're going to get nitty gritty. I'll also do a lot of Q&A at the end for people that have questions. But the topic of tomorrow is going to be, first 30 minutes will be how do we find the suppliers? How do we find the wholesalers? I'll show you guys how to do that. And then we'll do how to get your first bird dog deal in less than a week. I'll give you guys an opportunity of how to partner with me on bird dogging. We'll talk about that. And then we'll wrap it up with some Q&A tomorrow as well. I've been trying to keep these trainings light and fun and keeping them for under 2 hours because I find that people's attention span, I typically will go 4, 6, 8 hours inside of the SubTo community, but I find that people can't handle that on the YouTube world. They can only handle about an hour to maybe 2. So we will be back tomorrow, long-winded version tomorrow, 4 hours, starting at the same gosh dang time, providing the same gosh dang value. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much. By the way, we'll have some gifts for you guys tomorrow just to love on you, give you some cool, fun things. Rinda will open us up at the top of the hour with me. I'll interview her for about 7-10 minutes. I'll jump into finding suppliers. We'll then jump into finding your first bird dog deal in less than 7 days, giving you guys a structure. Then I'm going to invite some people to my office next week as well. We'll give some more prizes tomorrow. It should be a lot of fun. And we will give you guys an opportunity to partner with me as well tomorrow. We'll have a blast. Wrap it up all with Q&A. See you guys tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And by the way, if you ever get a chance or an opportunity, let Carly Grunman know how special she is to all of this fun things that we do together. Thank you guys so much.